Whoa. 아무 배치.
Stream is starting. The Captain Coder at the helm. Bean water is ready. Today we will learn a lot. He loves the questions, he loves to sing. Join our Discord and follow him.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you're in the world. Captain Coder here on this beautiful Monday. Thank you for the hats. We got 1 hat, 2 hats, 3 hats. Thank you for the hats. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. I hope everyone's having a beautiful day wherever you happen to be in the world. I'm having a beautiful morning. Any day I can wake up and code with the crew is a beautiful day, and today is a beautiful day, folks. Welcome to the stream, Rust Floppy. Hope you're having a beautiful day. It's great to see you here on this beautiful Monday morning, everybody. Frito the cat, let's get another hat on here. I don't know what's gonna, every day with these hats, people just want to see what the hats won't be in for me. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be. It's great to see you, Russ Floppy. I hope you're having a beautiful Monday, a beautiful week, a beautiful month, beautiful life, beautiful year. Popcorn, it's great to see you, my friend. Welcome back, everybody. 2 Nerdy Nerds, congratulations on your #1. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being amazing. 2 Nerdy Nerds, hey folks, did you know the 2 Nerdy Nerds just released a demo? So here's what I'm gonna ask you to do. First of all, you're gonna not want to miss this demo. See that heart right there? You're gonna want to first click that heart so you can go hang out with them. Be like, hey, Bernardo, Celine, draw me some curse art. Draw me some curse art. You're the curse art man. Draw me some curse art tonight. So you get yourself some curse art. Then you're gonna head on over to the Cat Cafe demo. Super Cat Cafe demo here, folks, and you're gonna go give them some was that Billy Joel? That was Jolie Bill there. Go check out Super Cat Cafe. The demo's out and out. Give them some love, give them that feedback. Your feedback is invaluable. Atlantia King, I'd like to say thank you so much for following me today. We got Atlantia King, you know you're great. I gotta say thank you, my friend. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for raiding in with us, Grumpy Game Dev. Thank you so much for the raid. You know I appreciate it. You know I love it. 2 Nerdy Nerds, I hope it's going well, my friend. I'm so excited that you got that released. Infinite Tanny, welcome back to the stream. It's wonderful to have you. Congratulations on #2. Moon is enjoy your lurk, my friend. Jolt Code, it's always a pleasure to see you on these beautiful days. Beautiful Monday. My point is that he will run out of screen real estate before he runs out of hats. So we'll see. We've run out of hats a few times. You know, I have this, it's one of those magic Willy Wonka rooms, you know, but we make it taller. We make the room a little bit taller. I want to sing a song. I wish I was a little bit taller. You know, and now I can be. I just put some more hats on. If you want to be taller, just put a couple more hats on. Clayman, welcome back to the stream. Hope you're having a beautiful day, my friend. How's your project coming along, Grumpy? Thank you so much for the raid. You know what? We love freedom here. Feeling good right now. The calm before the bug report storm. It's coming. It's coming. Surly. It's great to see you, my friend. I put on heels. That is my secret tip.
Seems good.
That's a nice little tip we got. Corfless, thank you so much for the nice. It's great to have you here, my friend. Atlantia King, welcome in, of course. Thank you for the follow. G, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're staying cool. I hope it's not too hot where you are. Smab, thank you for the lurk. We appreciate it. You know we love you, my friend. Tony, it's wonderful to have you here. Peace on Mars. Peace on Mars. There is peace on Mars because of you. Peace on Mars. Thank you so much for that. Dramokes, I'm glad you're working on your game. Working, cooking, brewing, writing that spaghetti, de-spaghettifying it, making it awesome. I can't wait to play Rust Floppy. It's so wonderful to have you here on this beautiful day. Jeff Hatstands. What a name. What a name, Captain. I failed to find the result tabs on the jam page, even though the voting period is over. Is there some process? I think I have to manually release them. So the award ceremony is going to be on the 27th. Or should I go ahead and release it now? That's a good question. So the award, the voting's over, but the actual, I have to click a button to release all the scores. So I need a chance to go in and look at it. We're gonna have an award ceremony on the 27th. I might, if you guys really want me to, I could release it before then. But we got to build up that anticipation. Of course, maybe people might be tired of it by then, so maybe we should go in and get it. Michael Game Dev, welcome back to the stream. Fred of the Cat, thank you for the hat. Makes sense to release it with the ceremony. That was the plan, yeah. I wish I could do it sooner. We just haven't had time to finish all the judging. We need more time for judgment. We need Judgment Day to come, and Judgment Day is coming, folks. Popcorn, great to see you here, Tommy, and welcome back to the stream. I love you, my friend. Welcome in. Hope you're having a beautiful Monday. Intensicode, welcome back. Thank you so much for sharing your incredible game with us. Having a super fun, had a blast playing Arkanoid. How's it coming along? Did you manage to finish it? I know you were some final touch-ups you're working on. I'm not sure if you finished or not. Graham, it's always a pleasure to see you. Congratulations on your number 14. Not bad. And BK, folks, we got the incredible BK Dev with us. BK, how you been, my friend? Hope you're having a beautiful day wherever you happen to be. Folks, what are we working on today? El Captain, Judge, Jury, executing those executables. Yeah, the executable runner. Captain Coder, the executable runner. I am. I love running those executables. I got them. The Captain Coder, Judge, Jury, and executable runner. Doing well, thank you. Still packing up flat. Let's go. I'm doing absolutely wonderful. Been having a blast this summer. Getting ready for my trip coming up. So we got today, we got tomorrow. I'm gone Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and probably Saturday as well. But I got a trip coming up. It's super exciting. Thank you so much for that hat, Intensicode. Thank you so much. Let's get another hat on this deck. Let's do it. There's a hat. Thank you so much for the hat. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's been wonderful. Folks, be sure to go check out Super Cat Cafe. We got so many amazing people here. Also, be sure to give Playman Dev some love. Playman's working on the Epic Hero game. Be sure to click over there, check it out. That's the cap of the cap. Sign up for the early release as well of Epic Hero game. Give them some love, folks. What are we doing today? Everyone wants to know what's happening. We are continuing. I had a tornado here yesterday. I didn't get hit by a tornado, but we had a tornado touchdown really nearby where we live. The wind was crazy. My power went out. My computer, I had to do a restore on my computer. I usually leave it on, and the power went out, and I lost some stuff. When I went to boot it up, it was not happy. It's been a while since I've gone to boot up a computer, and the computer said, hey, by the way, something terrible has gone wrong, and we couldn't turn on. And so I had to actually do a full system restore last night before I went to bed. I was going, I should go turn this on, make sure everything's good, and it was not good. Glad it worked out, though. Totally Willow, it's wonderful to see you. Totally number 16. Congratulations on your number 16, by the way. So this will be the first time I've run this. I'm not sure if there were any changes that didn't get saved before it. Fodai, welcome back. Congratulations on your number 17. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Fodai, I hope you're having a beautiful day, my friend. I love that emote. The little hat, the guy with the little hat there. That's a cute emote. I like that one a lot. But what are we working on? We are porting our twin stick shooter here. This is what we had so far yesterday. So twin stick shooter, you control it with the left analog, you fire with the right analog. So we got ourselves a dinosaur that moves in one direction and a turret that fires in another direction. So they can go the same direction if we really want them to. But this is what we managed to do that for. TSCN, what is that? The code looks like a bit like Python though. So we are working with Godot. So Godot is an open source game engine. So we're porting our project over. This is a language that is custom to this game engine called GD Script. GD Script. TSCN stands for scene. I don't know what the T stands for, if I'm being completely honest, but it stands for scene, essentially. These are creating what are called nodes. So our player, if you're familiar with Unity, they're kind of like prefabs. Text scene, gotcha. So T stands for text, so it's the definition of this thing here. So we have our player scene. So this is just defining all of the objects for a player. We have a player scene, we have a projectile scene. That's all the things to make a projectile, or like a base. This very, very basic projectile. We have our arena scene as well, and the arena scene actually just has this player in it, and the bullet manager, the camera, just some definition of these things. Let me get rid of this default projectile. So this is what we managed to put together yesterday. So what we got yesterday, we are in the process of porting our Primordial Jungle game that we made for the Fox Hollow Jam. We wrote it in Unity, and so we're in the process of going through, checking out what this process looks like, specifically in Godot. So learn a little bit about Coax. Thank you for the hat. Let's get a hat. We got one hat. We're only 20 minutes in, and we're running out of hats. One hat. Let's get another hat on here. Let's go with the corn hat. 2 hats. Thank you for the hats. Time is going to machine to make my collab. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for the hats, my friend. Let's make the room a little bit bigger here. Got to increase the size of my room. This is so interesting. Which direction? Am I moving this the right way or the wrong way? I feel like this is the correct way. Or do I need to be more over this way? That's more center. No, now I'm further away. All right, let's get the camera here in the center. Perfect. Thank you so much for the hats, Rusty. Thank you. I'm completely new to game dev. I'm just casual backend dev. Eager to learn. Glad to be here. Glad to have you here. So I am similar. I wouldn't say 100% similar, but I'm a computer science teacher. I teach computer science and programming at a school for ages 10 to 14. And I got into game dev about 2 years ago. So I would say I'm not completely new anymore, but I'm, you can do it. Oh no, I have no audio in my computer, Kovalaki. I'm so sorry to hear that. I know you can't hear me. Here, let's say, let's type a message, Kovalaki. I'm so sorry you can't hear me. I don't know what's going on, Kovalaki. Good luck with that. I don't have closed captioning on my stream either, I don't think. We should get that fixed, perhaps. But yeah, we made this game for a 72-hour game jam over the last weekend, or 2 weekends ago. And so we're in the process of checking out I'm more familiar with Unity than I am with Godot. And so I've been wanting to learn more about Godot so I can speak more informedly. I can speak more informed about the engine itself when questions arise. I get a lot of questions about Godot, and I wish I could speak more on it. So we're in the process here of taking this game and seeing what the process of porting it to Godot is like. I still can hear my keyboard, so I haven't gone deaf, but what happened to my computer? I don't know, Kovalaki. I don't know, Kovalaki. Want to know something hilarious? My daughter's boyfriend came across Pirate Software shorts and thought they're actually really cool even for normies. His words, not mine. They're cool for normies. There's some good ones out there, right? The Goblin Lord is wise, man. This is true. Tawny, this is true. Tawny ate your sound card. It's funny that he even got the short served in the first place. Yeah, it's a good stuff. The Goblin Lord, yeah. Yeah, Pirate Software, congratulations to him. Blew up there. So yeah, that's what we're in the process of doing. Has the algorithm in his hands, he hacked it. Yeah, that's what he keeps saying. Or I believe he has said many times that he has kind of hacked that algorithm or figured out how to get the shorts to go out. Pretty amazing stuff, actually. Okay, so the next thing I want to do, you'll notice that when I'm shooting, the bullets come out insanely fast, way too fast. So we're gonna add a little cooldown to our player, which is gonna be how fast they can actually shoot. And so on our player script here, we're gonna add in an export var weapon cooldown like this. And we're gonna set it to 1 second. So we can fire 1 bullet a second, 1 projectile a second for now. Are you finally going to add a pterodactyl to the game? Tawny, there's so many things I want to do. Yes, we're going to do a regular port first, then we're probably going to keep iterating on it, making some good changes. Zaft, Uwoger, welcome back to the stream. It's great to see you beautiful people here on this beautiful day. Hope you're having a beautiful Monday. So I want to, Tawny, make this connected to Twitch chat so that people can actually you know how people have avatars in a lot of streams that show up on the bottom of the screen? I actually want to make a game where if you're in the chat, you're actually, you become enemies in the game, so you can customize who you are in the game and do like send power-ups and that type of stuff into the game to the player playing, which would be me or whoever happens to be playing. So I have some ideas on what I want to do with it. He's very confident. He also has a lot of knowledge. Are the sprites custom made? Yes, we made all these sprites for this game. Everything in the game, including the audio, is custom. Thor has a ton of background, so he has a lot of authority to speak on these things because he has so much experience in the industry, which I think is one of the coolest parts about what he does, is he just has real world experience working for companies who do Blizzard and whatnot. So he's worked in real industry. So yeah, these are all the sprites we made for this game. This is the dinosaur and the turret, and then we have some enemies here that we're gonna put in. Blizzard and I think Amazon, yeah, and then he also worked for the Department of Defense as well, or Department of Energy. I think it's Department of Defense. But yeah, he has a bunch of experience doing working in the game industry, as well as doing like cybersecurity and security defense stuff. It's really, really cool to talk with him about those things. Okay, so we have this weapon cooldown we're gonna do. And what we want to do is, after we fire our projectile, so we have this player turret here, we don't want to be able to fire again until the cooldown has passed. All right, so we're gonna add in a variable up here, is can fire or cooldown here, and we're gonna set it equal to 0. We're gonna make this a float like so. I guess we could start a timer. That gamer, welcome back to the chat. That gamer, how you doing, friend? I'm doing absolute wonderful. Insert appropriate time here, yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good time zone to you, my sir. It's great to see you. I hope you're having a beautiful day. We're trying to get the hats. Where are we finding the projectiles? Is he bad at the job? Look, we got that. They're out of here. I warned you last week not to be late, projectile. Now you're fired. All right, so we're gonna do on cooldown. On cooldown is cooling down. And we can actually make this a bool false. And what we'll do is when we go to fire, we'll say if is cooling down, return. So we're gonna do nothing if we're cooling down. Otherwise, we're gonna fire the projectile. Is cooling down is gonna be equal to true. And we wanna start a timeout here. I'm gonna start a timeout. I guess we could spawn it once and then start the timeout. And we're gonna do I can't remember how to create a timer in Godot. So let's go look it up real quick. Godot create timer. But I wanna have a timer that pauses, and when it's finished, we'll set it back out. Timer here, signals. How do I create a new timer? One shot. Scene.create timer. To create a one shot without instantiating a node, scene.create timer. Scene.create timer. Timer. Interesting that I'm not getting that. Scene tree. So I have to do get tree dot create timer. There we go. And how long do I specify this to be? Seconds floats. All right, so we're taking a float, always process in physics. There we go. So we get a little bit of stuff here. So the amount of time is going to be our player dot weapon cooldown, like this, and we'll do var timer. And we'll do an await timer dot, how do we start it? Timeout? Is that just what we do? Timeout called as a function, but is a signal. Can't remember exactly what to do on this one. I might have to double check it. Timeout, there it is, await timeout, and then we do is cooling down equals false, like this. Two nerdy nerds, Alp, thank you guys so much for the help. Zaft, appreciate it. You can enable a warning in the editor setting that throws out a warning every time you don't declare a type for a variable. I should probably turn that on. I think I would like that to be on, but let's make sure this worked here. There we go. 1 second is way too slow. 1 second is way too slow. All right, but you'll notice we do have, it is much slower. I don't know if you guys can actually see it here, if it's hard to see that projectile, but we have the projectile firing pretty slowly out there. But we can adjust that. We can go into our player here, and we can go into the inspector, because it's a variable on our player, and we can actually set the weapon cooldown to, let's try 0.3. 0.3, it might be a good default. One Mississippi, 2. That's interesting. It doesn't feel like it actually changed that cooldown. And this might be because, let's go to our arena scene here. Our player here. All right, so that's interesting. Reset. How do I, so this is interesting. Was it because I didn't save that? There it goes. I didn't hit save on it. There we go. 0.1 is going to be too fast. 0.1 is too fast. 0.3 is what I actually wanted. 0.3. Didn't it actually update? I have to come back over here and... Interesting. I'm super confused. I'm not hitting save properly, I guess. There we go. This still feels a little bit too fast, but we'll wait until we have enemies to judge whether or not it's too fast or not. Feels pretty good there. All right, I think you have to press enter to get out of the input field. That might have been what was going on. Thank you, thank you. Let's go into our project settings, or is it editor settings? So let's go ahead and filter by someone suggested hint, editor type, hint, script, come on, search file here, might be under a different setting, editor settings, not project settings, thank you. Hint, show internal errors, editor, property editor, debugger. Hang on, let's just come in here, find it, type, automatically open, code fonts, completion, inspector. I feel like it should be under editor. We just got to figure out what it's called. Devro with a hat, let's go. Devro, how you been, my friend? Let's get another hat on this stack. Thank you very, very much. Oh yeah, there it is. Devro, how'd you been, my friend? What have you been working on? How have you been? It is a lot of hats, Devro. Folks, if you guys don't know Devro, hang on, Devro? There it is. Be sure to give Devro some love. Click that heart. Devro, incredible 3D artist and game developer. You can hear me now, but not with my computer. Kovalaki. Can hear me with your ears? Usually I hear with my ears. Your computer audio is still not working though. Let's see if any of these, text editor, theme, behavior, script list, completion, editors, map editor. Let's search for warning. Type. I'm surprised it's not here. Debug. Oh, it's in debug. Debug. Warnings untyped. It's weird that if I search for type, It's not in there. What is, it's fine. Debug. It's in project settings. Oh, that's where I was. Okay. It's in project settings. Okay. Type. There we go. No problem. Untyped warn. We'll set it up so we at least have a warning on it. Okay. I like it. I like it. Okay. So we have this. There was another thing we were going to do that said if there's something Captain Fubar was telling us, and someone else can help me out with this. Captain Fubar had mentioned that there's a way to detect if you're not inside of a camera pretty easily. And I want to use that to just despawn these bullets, set them up so they disappear. Captain Fubar, that's right. Captain Enosa, Thindle, welcome back, my stream. Visibility notifier. Okay, let's go to our let's go into our projectile here, and we're gonna look at our projectile, and there's gonna be a visibility notifier. Visible on-screen notifier 2D. What a name. Captain Mendoza, congratulations on your number 20. Thindle, I'm doing absolutely wonderful. I hope you've been well, my friend. How the heck have you been? And so this is something if we're on the screen notifier. Okay, so I'm assuming there's gonna be a signal. Screen exited. Okay, let's add this to our projectile script. Connect. On screen exited, we'll just do Q free. Let's see how we do. Doing okay, thanks just a lot. Yeah, I know a lot's been going on there. I hope things are on the up and up. Recently found out about this super helpful node that I had no idea existed. Remote transform allows the transform of a target node with code, no code required. It follows the transform. So a follower, like follows another thing. Does it allow you to have an offset to it? So we have these here. I want to go into my remote. Hang on here. We're gonna go over to remote, which lets us view all of the live data. Yeah, our bullet manager is empty. So you'll notice each time I create something, it will show up in the bullet manager like this, but you'll notice it's clearing them out. There's not an infinite amount of them because as they leave, they get disabled, turned off screen. What do you guys think about vertical slice architecture? Vertical slice architecture depends on the context. In what context are you referring to doing vertical slicing? It does allow an offset. That's cool. I like it. I like it. Dindle, it's great to see you, my friend. All right, let's get a commit in here. All right, let's get a commit in here. This is the wrong one here. Let's go here. Why do you ask, Popcorn? Just curious what your thoughts are on it. Git commit the M, like aspect-oriented programming. Hey, let's see what vertical slice architecture. It's related to the maintainability of your product as it goes out, I believe. Is a technique that helps developer maintaining applications by separating the application around features, activity, or vertical slice. Yeah, vertical slice architecture. So it has to do with scaling, I think, a lot of the time. So if you need a product that scales, I'm not sure if I love vertical slice architecture or if I just hate those other guys. Yeah, I don't think we have hexagonal architecture. Is there hexagonal architecture? I've never heard of that one. But it's basically a way to develop your software, so that it can scale in specific ways. That's the idea, at least. Let's see, is this picture, feature. Yeah, so it's hitting slices here. It is a thing. Enterprise coding is literally a nightmare sometimes. Yeah, Popcorn, had this conversation, I think 2 days ago, in that someone was asking me why I decided to be a teacher. Clearly, I was on a path to be like a hardware engineer, that type of thing. And I said, it just wasn't my teaching is my passion. I had a job that paid well and I enjoyed parts of it, but it wasn't my passion. Teaching is my passion. So we implement add cooldown, add weapon cooldown. All right, there we go, like that. But I've always wanted to be a teacher, and that's why I'm very passionate about it. It's why I decided to do it. It's why I took a huge pay cut to become a teacher. I need to move this button 2 pixels to the left. I need to change 9 layers of architecture. Yeah, we'll take 4 weeks. You know, that's what that Kanban board is for. Yeah, so it depends on the type of software, what's your target, if things have to be vertically aligned, you know, are they critical systems? How many people are using that type of thing? What's the current Q app on the right? Oh, this is just this is a custom program. Q, what is your name? So it actually will put a question up here for me to remind me that someone had a message, wants to talk to me. So I don't forget, so we know what's going on here. It's often, I use it a lot for when I'm playing people's games or giving feedback to specific people. People can queue things up because there was a point where I would forget a lot. When someone would ask something, I'd be right in the middle of something. So it's just a way to queue it up, and it puts in this questions.txt.txt file here. And then I can just clear them out like that. So yeah, just a little program I wrote to be able to manage questions a little bit when a lot of questions are coming in. So, or if people are wanting me to play games, that type of thing. I have a question regarding macros versus Linux. Oh, Mac OS versus Linux. To me, it feels like Mac OS desktop is quite slow from the feel of things versus sometimes like GNOME. Linux OS is better on it. Do you have a similar experience? No, I've actually found my experience with Mac has been surprisingly good. You know, I'm a Linux guy. I came from Linux background for a long time. I ended up going to a school where it was like a Mac only school where I was teaching at. So I had to kind of learn Mac, and I was surprised at how good it is for my purposes. That said, I have like a beefy Mac, like M1. I got at the time in 2020, I think it might've been 2019. I got the new M1 chip, like 16 gigabytes of RAM, and it ran fine for my purposes. That said, I haven't used like the Mac desktop. I say Mac OS desktop series. I think you're specifically referring to just like Mac OS in general. I don't use it all that often, but I do use it with my students because I have now I work at a school where we have Mac, Linux, and Windows students. It's bring your own device. So I kind of have to be prepared on all of them. It's fast, but it feels snappier on Linux to me, more for me than on Mac OS. I mean, they're just two different windowing toolkits. So two different windowing systems. I've never felt personally, that said, I don't do a lot of intense stuff on my Mac. Has been all right desktop wise until you leave it on. It still gets in my way, but not as much as Windows. Much prefer to stick on Linux when I can. Definitely sucks how expensive the RAM storage are. I was surprised because I was a staunch Linux guy of like, I don't want to use anything but Linux. And my experience with Windows and Mac over the last 5 years have actually been surprisingly not terrible. I stream from Windows because it is the easiest platform to stream from in my experience. All of these stuff just kind of works. When I was streaming from Linux, I was running into really weird issues, and I think that's just related to GPU. And then streaming from Mac, I couldn't get it to stream from Mac for what it's worth. I'm pro Linux. I'm too old to waste time to tinker, and Linux causes me to tinker. Linux is totally a tinkering land, yeah. So I found streaming to be the easiest on Windows, and because I teach online, I stream all the time, and so that is the main reason I'm on Windows for my streaming machine here. Okay, so we got a commit in here, I believe. Let's double check. Yes. Okay. And the next step of what I want to try and accomplish, I'm currently using all three, and Mac is the only one I don't plan to continue with. Yeah, here's the other thing. For what it's worth, if I didn't have students that use Mac, I probably wouldn't use Mac all that often. I don't do a lot of streaming. Gee, it conflicts with my GPU. I have issues streaming through my GPU on Linux is the big thing. So the streaming, my bit rate and the processing and CPU usage is super high when I'm streaming from Linux. That said, I'm sure I could take some time to configure it to get it to work. On Windows, it just works out of the box. I think that's the biggest thing for me is on Windows, I have to do no configuration to get my stream stuff to just work. I had, like I was saying, my streaming from a Mac was really, really rough. Okay. We have our projectiles in. What's the next thing we want to do? Okay. So we have our projectiles in. Let's add in enemies. I'm actually using Windows 11 for the first time today. Kovalaki, how is it? I've heard horror stories, but have no personal experience. Let's add in an enemy. Tony says, if the results will be out on 27, can we also extend the voting period? Is that possible? I would like to catch the games I missed if that's possible. Yeah, I think that would be fine. Let me look into seeing if I can extend the voting period. I think that would be okay, Tani. Yeah, that's a great idea. Can you send me a message on Discord? Send me a direct message on Discord or in the Game Jam channel to remind me of that, because I'm going to forget. But I think that's an excellent idea. Makes things more difficult. People say that about every different iteration. People said that from Windows 98 to Windows XP, just for what it's worth. Every time a new version of Windows comes out, it's always worse than the last one because it's different. That said, I haven't actually used Windows 11, so I can't know, but that's been my experience. It's been downhill since Windows 3.1. That's true. Playing the Game Jam games have been a blast. Captain Anosa, I'm glad you've been playing it. Folks, if you guys haven't checked out Captain Anosa, be sure to give him some love. Incredible streamer, incredible game dev. Captain Anosa, thank you so much for hanging out with us. How's your game? Which ones have you enjoyed so far? They're all great, yeah. Every other Windows is bad. Windows 10 was good. Dr. Dark, welcome back. It's great to see you. Freedom Forge, how the heck have you been? Except Windows 8, I don't think I've met a single person who liked Windows 8. Look, I used Windows 8 for gaming. I had no issues with Windows 8. I know a lot of people really hated Windows 8. I had no issues with it, but I didn't use it for anything aside from gaming. I feel like every version of Windows people hate. I don't talk yet for now. It's too scary. Gee, I get that. I completely understand that. Hard to navigate. I think there's a lot. Zap's best Windows obvious was ME. Max and CLT. Welcome to the stream today. I want to welcome Max and CLT today. Thank you for the follow, Maxon. Hope you're having a beautiful day. All right. I want to add in an enemy. So let's go ahead and start by creating an enemy folder here for our enemies. So I'm going to create a new folder, enemies, and we're going to create our basic enemy here, which was our Neanderthal. We called it a grunt in the other one, but we're going to go with Neanderthal here, and we're going to create a new scene to store Neanderthal. This is our base Neanderthal scene. Let's get some sprites in here for it. So we have our Neanderthal as our base, and we're gonna bring in our different sprites. So our Neanderthal happens to be these sprites here. So we have them separated out so we can animate them. So we have the body, head, arms, club, and feet like that. So we're gonna bring each one in here into our sprites. I'm gonna create a folder here for Neanderthal like that. I don't mean to pick first, but everyone should play Feed and Mog Me All. Feed was really good. Mog Me All. I don't remember that one completely. I'm sure the name pops into mind. Feed, like, distinctly remember that art style. And the atmosphere in those games are top tier. I learned which one was Mog Me All. Remind me. Can you remind me what was the premise of that one? Because I played them all, or almost all of them. I think there's a few that maybe slipped through the cracks for me. Afterlife 3 weapons. I know I have it recorded. I know I have it myself playing it. I know I have it recorded. Hang on, let's go here. Captain Coder org. Captain Coder org here. Protecting a tree. Yeah. I remember that one. You have the 3 different attacks. That one was cool. I was struggling with that one with the understanding how the cooldown system and recollecting my weapon. That one was challenging. But yeah, you run back and forth. I remember that one now. Has the same issue as GNOME devs. They are so opinionated about their workflow that it hinders solving actual issues. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I believe you. Okay, so we're gonna come into our assets here. Nope, wrong button. Primordial Smash assets. Sprites. I'm on a different screen, by the way. Grunt is not the right one. Grunt. All right, here we go. So we're bringing in our different sprites here for our enemy so that we can create it. So I'm gonna click. So interesting, I'm gonna click this folder, make sure it's selected, and then drag these in here. Perfect. Bring them in. So we got these in here, so I can use these to build out my character here. All right. I love Mac OS things, but Mac outside of Mac devices have trouble with it. DaVinci Resolve, just unusable on Linux. I haven't tried it. I have only used DaVinci Resolve on my Windows computer because I have a pretty, I wouldn't call it beefy, but I have a graphics card on my Windows machine. I actually have 2 graphics cards on my Windows machine, and I got it specifically for doing video processing. I need to get a new computer. Let's add in these different pieces here. All right, so we're gonna add in all the different pieces, and then we're gonna build out our Neanderthal here on this center point. Let's go ahead and put this at the center here. Transfer, move that to the center. We'll rearrange these up and down, but here's sort of the feet, the head. Let's move the head up, should be the topmost one. So it needs to be all the way down at the bottom here. Okay, the arms, the foot should be beneath the arms, the club should be above the hand. Let's go ahead and duplicate the foot. We'll call this right foot, left foot. To get the left foot, we're gonna just do a flip here. Set the XP -1, and then we will, we want to unconnect the scale, -1 like that. And then we can move it over like that. And we'll get these sort of positioned nicely. I wouldn't say I'm trying to get my printer scanner to work in Mac after some updates. I do feel like my experience with Mac, for the most part, felt relatively seamless. I felt like I had one thing I felt on Mac, for what it's worth, one thing I did feel on Mac is that everything just kind of worked. That is one thing I found. I found I had to do very little configuration on Mac until I wanted to do development. Once I started trying to do development, I felt like there were lots of little things. So getting Brew installed, and then once I had Brew, things started working again. Right arm, and we'll go with left arm here. And then again, we want to flip this one, -1 here, like that. So we can get the arm, right arm. We're gonna put the club sort of inside. It's Godot. Thank you for the reminder how to do it in Godot. I know you meant, but this is actually the next thing I need to learn how to do in Godot. Oh, creating these little, yeah, we're gonna do it little animations. This is how I did the animations before. So we have all these little things going in here like this. So this is sort of the arm. I want to make a parent here. And this is going to be just a node 2D. the left arm, right arm here. Put this below the shoulders. Oh, I put that wrong. It should be right arm node here. I want these and there we go. So that way these can move sort of separately. What's interesting is I want, when I do a reparent like this, I really want the center of this to be different because it's a little bit hard now. I need to move these, although I can find the center point right here. Like that. So it's like these are connected and the club, I want it to be on top like that. All right, there we go. Richard Oz, thank you so much for the follow. Richard Oz, thank you so much for following me. And now, Richard Oz, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. Followers can't do much and likely won't do much when people don't really ask. We did that's how animation for the jam entry can do a lot with sliced body part. Yeah, the sliced animation. This is the first time I've done this type of thing in a game, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed doing it. It was really fun to implement, and so this is sort of our like right arm, like web attack pivot here. So this is sort of what I'm going to use this for here. Is now I can rotate this arm back and forth when we're doing our attack here. So that's the main reason I want the pivot to be there. Whee! Look at it go. Look at it go. Holy cannoli, Chaff with the raid. Chaff Games raiding us. We got Chaff Games raiding us. Chaff, tell us all about it. How was your stream, Chaff? Hope you're doing well, my friend. Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you so much for being here. If you got anything to share with us, feel free to do so. I hope my bot should let you through, but let me know. How was your stream? What were you working on? Let me do this just to make sure. There we go. You put the joy in writing code when when one otherwise would have gray hair by now. Look, we gotta have fun. If you're not enjoying yourself, what are you doing? What are you doing, right? Frustration, you know, sometimes I get frustrated, but it is all about it in my mind. It's 2024. This is true. This is true. Okay. So we have a little bit of a Neanderthal here. We're back in Godot. Yeah, we're trying to do a port here. Let me get my left foot and right foot aligned here. I want these to be mirrored on either side. So I'm gonna adjust the transform. I have 22, let's go with 20, negative 30. 20, negative 30, and these sort of go back and forth, 20, negative 30, so they're sort of aligned there. Let's get the left arm and right arm sort of aligned. Let's go negative 40, let's try negative 40, 40, like that. See, this one's a little bit harder to do because the pivot is different. Actually, this arm isn't quite right. Let's pull it out and up. I think that's kind of good enough. Let's get our head. Is our head directly in the middle here? Let's reset the head. There we go. Now we're good. Now we're good. So we got our little Neanderthal here. You have hat. You're happy you still have hair. I thought gray hair is a sign of success. You survived the best days of your life. Make yourself a little silver there. We don't call it gray. We call it silver. Get that silver hair. Because you're golden. People have gotten to care less and less. Noam Davidson has a lot of wonky issues when I use it. So for what it's worth, when I was using Linux, I don't use it that much. I use Xmonad. I use Xmonad, which I know is a little bit crazy, but that's the windowing system I use. I'm going for the gold. Yeah, that's right. Silver and gold, silver and gold. Thanks a lot, Bad Hair. It's a tiling, yeah. It's tiling. There's no mouse. Xmonad, for the most part, is a mouse-free windowing system. I expect a 4-pawn scoundrel unattached the audio cable from the speaker end. Oh no, Kovalaki, did you find the culprit? I used DWM a little bit. It was pretty cool too. So one of my big reasons for using Xmonad is the configuration file is Haskell. Xmonad uses Haskell. It's one of the reasons I really enjoyed it. Xmonad Haskell. It's written in Haskell. Yeah, so Xmonad is actually a windowing system that is written in Haskell, and that is why I used it for the most part. Is I'm a big Haskell nerd, by the way. When will they be switching desktop navigation to controller only? I ask. Yeah, someday. Do mind control only. It's coming. It's coming, and you know it. You know it. Attached right into your brain. All right, so we got an enemy here. Let's go ahead and add in. There's a couple things. Using Xmonad on a 2-in-1 system would be not ideal. I tried to learn Haskell a few times. I love Haskell. Captain and notes are like, whoa. That emote is good. You have 2 suspects, Kovalaki. I hope you find the one you're looking. This is the one you're looking for. So got a little Neanderthal script here. So there's a couple things I want to do. Let's go ahead and do a commit here. We got the base Neanderthal body complete. Let's open up here so we can get a commit going. Make sure this is all saved. Git status, git commit -m feature. Add basic Neanderthal TSCN. Okay. Have your beautiful day, Popcorn. Thank you so much for hanging out. Remember to keep coding, keep growing, keep being the best you can be. You're welcome back anytime, Popcorn. Have a beautiful day, my friend. Thank you so much for hanging out with them. Got 2-in-1 system. I got a total of 512 gigs on my laptop. Legitimately can't have 2 triple. Yeah, 512 gigs of hard drive space. I'm assuming is what you're saying. For a second, I was going, yeah, 512 RAM. That's a beefy amount of RAM. That's not what you were saying, though. I think you have that much hard drive space. I want to. All right, so there's different behaviors I need to do. So we're going to add in a node here. And this is going to be our move toward, this is like a behavior that is track player movement. So my idea with this one is it rotates towards the player and moves towards the player. So this is chase player behavior. This is the chase player behavior where the enemy will always try and just go directly to where the player is. Doesn't have anything interesting about movement, so it moves just towards the player. Now that I've got a laptop that I can draw. I like my Wacom. It has a stylus and Wacom panel under the hood. That's cool that it's built in. I love my Wacom. I have Wacom. I call it Wacom. I like to say Wacom. I have a very simple laptop for coding. Unfortunately, it's still too low spec for 3D coding. Also too big and heavy. Next time I buy a small light one. I will say that's something I like about the Macs is how lightweight they are. Ramification context free. How would one implement extra lives based on score, but based on level for first at 3,000, then 3,000 plus level times 100? I'm probably too tired, can't figure it out. It sounds like you have the formula done, but based on level, first at 3,000. So you'd have a thing that says, look for, do I have 3,000 points? I don't, intensive code. It sounds like you have the formula down. So we say when the score, have a little thing that checks when the score changes, or have a notifier that says on score change. And then a signal here. Of course, I just need to check before and after score. Yeah, well, I would put a signal in that says when the score changes, I'd have something listening for that change and have it be like level up controller, something like that, level up behavior, and it listens to a score. And when that score changes, it says whether or not it awards the points. I don't know, it sounds, I think you got it. All right, so we're gonna add a chase player behavior here. So we're gonna come up to our player, this is Neanderthal. Really, it's this global enemy because it's gonna be used on multiple enemies. So we're gonna create it here. Chase player behavior. All right, so I have a behavior here for chasing the player. Let's go into our script editor. And we want to target the player. We need to rotate towards it. So I actually want to add, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add my player to a group. And so let's create, my player here is gonna be just player. Like this. And now in my code for my chase player. When we start up, we need to go get our target. Addicted to groups too. I'm not sure how I feel about them. They're pretty nice. I'm using it to find, like, do singleton searching. Not even a class, a base scene. Have you thought of making a base enemy class inheriting off of it? I've had a good time with that approach. I have not considered that. It'd probably be a good idea to do it. Can't find them in the documentation. I did that in our tofu game. I will probably make subclasses. I think you're right. You can inherit the entire scene. Yeah, I think for our Neanderthal, it makes sense because there's a couple enemies that are the Neanderthal type. So this type of enemy, I think, would make sense to do it. So because they're all going to follow this. They're using the same model. Yeah, I have done it before. I think doing it as a subclass of this Neanderthal type because they all use the same body will make sense. I'm not going to do it just yet. I want to get it working on this one first, and then we can get it. But on ready here, I want to go find get tree. Does get tree get the root tree here? Let's see, what are we doing here? Get tree, get first node in group. This is what we want to do. So in our projectile, in our Neanderthal, and this is going to be class name chase player behavior. When we start up, we go find. Ready might not be the right place to do this either. I'm not sure. Yeah. And then building new enemies with those blocks. Well, that's sort of the approach I'm doing to nerds, but enemies that use the same like base model, I think makes sense because they have the same animation, they have the same, and then we can swap out behaviors. That's sort of what I'm going for here. D1CI, welcome back to the stream. Yeah, great to see you. Great to see you. Did we get defined followed? Defined followed me. I don't know if I sing you a song. Defined, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for the follow. This is our player group here. And this should be player. Let's create a variable player like this. Player equals as player. I think we can do this here. Is there an assertion? Is there a debug.assert player? And I want to check if it's not null. I essentially want to do this. I want to make sure that we actually found a node. Will this throw an error if we don't? There's so many things I want to check here. And if we don't have a player, we might want to make a thing. Yeah, assertions are just going to yell at me early on. I don't know if I should do this in ready. If player checks for null and freed. But I want to do an assertion. I don't want to have an if, right? An if here. I want something that when I actually compile this program makes it so that it's not actually in there. Assert player, gotcha. No player, player could not be found. I'm not sure if I actually want this either because that's exactly what I want. Only runs in debug mode. Okay. So one thing that's interesting is if I don't have a player in my scene, we could also end up with player 1, player 2. So there's some things that we are gonna run into here that I think might be problems for later. Thank you so much. Yeah, Zaft, appreciate it. Points. Let's give Zaft some points. Points. Add Zaft. 125 points. Thank you so much. Dev Mashup, welcome back to the stream. Hope you're having a beautiful day. How the heck have you been? New skill unlocked. Yeah, indeed. Indeed. So we might actually, didn't know that either. We want to do a physics process. There's a couple things. So our Neanderthal here needs to actually be a character body. Okay, so we're gonna, and then we'll have a base like Neanderthal stats. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope things are on the up and up, dev mashup. Gotta keep on moving, keep on grooving. We're gonna make this a change type, character body 2D. All right, so we have a character body 2D. Let's add in a child node. This is gonna be our collision shape 2D. And we're gonna give this a circle. And let's actually move it here so I can see it. And let's scale it up. Here like this. So this is actually a collider that it's gonna collide with the other thing. So we're gonna call this, I can leave it as collision shape 2D here maybe. I think that's okay. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, shoulders. Follow the naming convention here. Let's rename these. Attack, pivot, right arm, club. Before we start adding references to anything, right foot. So we're on the Godot version. Yeah, we just started yesterday. So yeah, we are just getting started with this arm like so. The other one is push warning, push error. Interesting. Thank you for the heart over on YouTube. I appreciate it. Print ridge to print, waving, swirling, moving, bright red error message. BB code is awesome. You can do that in the little terminal there. I didn't know that. Didn't know that. All right. Did I get all the names here to camel case? I did. All right. And I'm going to add a single parent object for all of these. Create new parent node, node 2D. We're just gonna call this body. So it's like the actual sprite's body or sprites, something along those lines. I'll put it up here. And creating a node here above this for like behaviors is sort of what I've done before as well. So that way, as I add more, we're gonna create an empty parent. We're gonna call this just a node. And I want to call this behaviors like that. So our behaviors here. So we can find it. Dev mashup with the hat. Let's go. Let's get another hat on this stack. Thank you so much for the hat. Let's see if my arms can reach this high. Thank you so much for the hat. You know I appreciate it. You know I appreciate you beautiful people. Enjoy your lurk. Enjoy your Elden Ring. Try not to die. Good luck, Tawny. Good luck. Sorry, we have our chase player behavior. So let's go and attach this here. I suspect that when I spawn this thing in, it won't actually do it. Instead, in my script, rather than doing it on ready, my chase player behavior, what I want to do, this is interesting. A target is sort of where it's trying to head. So I don't actually know that I want this to be a player. I think I want it to be a node 2D so that I can specify different places, different waypoints for it to go. And this will actually be target like this. So I'm gonna do a function, acquire target. And acquire target and say if target. I think this is saying that it doesn't have one. For now, this is the behavior we will have. And then we will assert that we have a target. It's not going to be until we actually do a process here. Target. We need a reference to our enemy. Var character body. Could even be our enemy. Yeah, I'm going to do character body here. Character body 2D. For anyone who is wondering, character body 2D allows us to move around in the world. This is going to be our root what did we do to get this before? I'm trying to remember. Owner, like that. This ends up being the root body here. This is what lets us move. So we're gonna choose a velocity as well. Let's go back into our root here. Our Neanderthal is a character body, but we do need to add a script to it as well. And movement, I'm trying to decide what exactly I want. So it's like our enemy stats, Neanderthal info. My weekend off stream was actually quite wonderful, Dev Mashup. We did some work in the garage. So what we had, it was a lot of fun. So we're working on building some stuff. So we got a wood router set up. So that was super fun to do. We're working on getting a table saw set up. We got our miter saw set up. So we're working on setting things up here. So we have a little workshop in our garage, which is super nice. We did have a tornado nearby us yesterday, which was a little bit wild. All our power went out, but it was okay. We played Luigi's Mansion on the Switch and played a bunch of board games. It was fun. Yeah, I love creating stuff. Making stuff is super fun. Let's go to our physics process here. So we want to move on the physics frame. We want to figure out what direction to go. So we're going to call acquire target here. So we'll figure out which target we go. Could have different behavior for acquiring a target as well. Right now, it just says find a player, and then if we have a player, go for it. If we have a player, go for it. So I'm going to add another function here. So acquire target, face target. I don't even know if I have to do this part here. I think it was pretty small. It sounds like there wasn't a lot of damage from it, but the wind was crazy. The wind was crazy. So we want to rotate. We need to get our body here. Okay. So on, ready, var, body is just our node 2D. And it's going to be this one here. Let's go ahead and make this a unique name here so we can drag it in. So this is going to reference this thing here. So body.rotate toward. Is that what we did? Let's go into our player here. Our player movement controller. And it is look at. This is what I want. Look at, not rotate toward. So if I come to my chase player, we're going to look at target like this dot global position. There we go. So we're going to look at this thing here. One thing I'm realizing is that we need to set I'm wondering if it actually should be this thing. I think we want to set our base Neanderthal body to be facing. So if I come over here, look at is going to want everything to be facing to the right. So I can rotate this body 90 degrees here. And then it sort of needs to be, this all needs to be inside of another thing. So this isn't body. Let's remove our I want to turn off our unique here. We're going to create an empty above this. We're going to call this rotation, default rotation. And then we're going to create a new parent here, node 2D. And this one happens to be our body. All right, make it a little bit easy here. So we have our body like this. This is the one that's going to be our unique named, and we might have some unique name ones inside of there as well. Is Stanislav Hira? Welcome to the stream. Great to see you. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Is Stanislav Hira one? Thank you for following me. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Come back to our script. Wrong script. This is our chase player. We have our body here like this. One time a funnel cloud formed 100 feet from my middle school while I was there. Lucky it didn't touch down. Yeah. Ours was to the southeast of us. So we didn't, the wind was crazy. We did see a bunch of stuff flying around. nothing giant. We had no damage. Our car is okay. Our house seems to be okay. I haven't had a chance to really go look at everything, but everything seemed fine at a glance. We'll be doing, when the sun comes out today, we'll take a close look, because it was rainy and stuff for a while last night, and then it got dark. So I do want this to be body here. Let's add in, let's double check this. Let's see if this is working. Let's go to our arena. Let's add in a Neanderthal. And let's see if it is rotating for, okay. Body, global position on target. So I think it's saying that our target is nil here. So it didn't find our player, I think is what's happening. Let me come over to my arena here. My player node groups isn't the player node here. Woland, 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 thank you for following me today. We got Woland, Woland, following. Thank you for following me. Thank you so much for being here, Woland. I hope you're having a beautiful day. So yeah, we have acquired target here. My guess is that the target is nil. Target should be a node 2D. What do you think about this? But Woland, welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Thank you so much for the follow. Happy to have you here. Surprisingly, my dogs were okay. They were very, very calm during it. We did bring them into, we have a room in the center of our house that we brought them into during the tornado warnings. It was only like 25 minutes for the warning itself before things passed. Yeah, so that itself was only 25 minutes, but yeah, the power coming on and off was a little bit interesting. So we unplugged everything or turned off all of our surge protector switches so that the power wouldn't be affecting things that way. I'm a little surprised by this here. I don't understand how to read this assert. I assume this assert would lose this. Variable projectile has no static type. All these errors are interesting to me. Okay. Delta has no static type. Oh, it's warning me that this doesn't have a type. Okay, so this should be a float. Has no static return type. Would I put void here? Is this what I would do to fix this? Arrow void. Okay. Okay. All right. On visible, has no static return type. All right, let's fix all of these warnings. It's a good practice to have, I think. Physics, if this is intended, it's never used. If this is intended, prefix it with an underscore. Delta has no static type. Void. Fire. Void. Projectile has no static type. I hate that. That is really annoying that it's complaining in this way. I have to put the type here and here. Timer has no static type. What is the type? You don't need the as. I do. So the reason I need the as is to be able to get the autocomplete here. Gamer Ninja 10, welcome to the stream. If I don't put the as projectile here, autocomplete won't show me the things that projectile has, which is annoying. That is why I have this as projectile, so that the autocomplete works. Timer. Is this just a timer type? Maybe they fixed it in 4.3. Yeah, it's super, super annoying. Scene tree timer. Okay. Let's go back. This would be a scene tree timer. Can do var projectile. That should work. Well, no, I have that. So let me show you. Let me show you why I have this as and why it's annoying. Projectile dot position doesn't exist. I don't get position because it just thinks it's a node. If I put as projectile here, this is Godot based in, we're using GG script. Projectile dot position now shows up. I have to put the as here. Okay, yeah, I'm in 4.2. I am in 4.2. Gamer Ninja, we are in Godot here. Lol X, haha, welcome to the stream. Great to have you. Yeah, we are working in Godot. I'm in 4.2 here. Maybe I should switch to 4.3. I don't know. As is not even guaranteed to actually cast. It will soft fail to null the cast invalid. Yeah, so I don't like this here. It's just what we came up with last time. Let's see. Am I done with our errors here? One more here. Float. Void. So I am getting, what's interesting, I get the warnings down here. Let's try hitting run now. Errors. Is never used in the function physics process. This is true. This is intended. Prefix it with the underscore. I see what it's yelling at me for. It's a little bit annoying. All right. We're probably going to end up using it in this one. There's no return type, void. Delta. Okay. I don't like that warning. I would hope that I could turn these off. Ground should be a float. Yeah, it's giving what's called a static type hint. It's saying that Delta, you can use it as a float, and hopefully it acts as a float. So it's giving us typing information that is optional. It's not compiled, it's static type hints. So what's interesting to me here, global position is nil. Our target was nil. Where do I see this assert? Oh, if, hang on, this should be if not target. There we go. All right. I was checking to make sure. So this guy is rotating towards the player always. That was the point. Yeah, if not, there we go. But we fixed a lot of those errors here. Let's go ahead and do a commit. We did a bunch of fixes here. I hate to call this a feature. It was like a feature and a chore. I should commit things separately. But we're just gonna do a feature here. Feature. Enemy. Add rotation to enemy chase behavior. I will, yeah. All right, so it should work the other direction as well. Let's go the other direction, just to make sure. I should make so if I go the other direction, it should be fine too. Yeah, there we go. We do have some like interesting collision stuff that I probably want off. That's okay. But yeah, it just follows. It points wherever the player is, like that. And I also want to add in. I know this seems. I want to add in a player forward. Sorry, not a player, but in our Neanderthal here, I'm going to add in a marker that is like the direction of travel. The direction of travel here to make things a little bit simpler for me, right? So I don't have to do any like vector math, that type of thing. So I'm going to do a marker 2D here, and this is our move target. And our move target is just always going to be in front here. So now as our body rotates, the main reason I did it is our body rotates, that movement target also does. So you'll notice here, the move target is relative to the body. So when the body rotates, the direction that we are supposed to travel rotates with it. So pretty simple here. You don't like that methods that have curly braces make the stuff inside it less obvious that has stuff belongs to that method. I think I'm okay. Yeah, we're Godot. Redson, we're Godot. Lieutenant Concord, I don't know if I said hello, but welcome back to the stream. Wonderful to have you. Yeah, we GD scripting. We GDing all over the place here. Okay. So our chase behavior, we rotate, we do a rotate, and then we're going to move towards the player. We're going to move towards the player. I need to add in on my base here. Do I want to add this to my base, or can it just be on our chase player behavior? I think it can be here. It's harder to see in the inspector when we do it this way. But we're gonna have a movement speed. So, and we end up with the movement range. So how fast we move. So we're gonna have a on or export var speed. Speed can be a float. And really this one's gonna be a ready. I just wanna be able to expose it so I can see the value. We have a min speed and a max speed like this. So min speed, max speed. Let's set our min speed to 1 and our max speed to 3. And then our actual speed on ready, func, ready. We're defining types. Yeah, man. We got defining types. That's indeed. So we're doing a speed here. What's your favorite color? I find this question interesting. I think a lot of people have favorite colors. I feel like I typically rand f range. We'll go from min speed. I think my default response to that answer is green, but I think the answer changes. I think my answer changes from time to time. You know, you have a very specific color. Purple is the best color. Purple's a pretty good color too. Yeah, good question. Good question. Yeah, I have a lot of students. So in my classes, I do what's called almost every day we do 5 minutes. The first day of class, we do more, but usually the first 5 minutes of my class, I have a thing called Ask Me Anything. So it's while I'm taking attendance, students come in, we take attendance, and students submit, at the end of class, students submit questions for me to answer. And while I'm taking attendance, I answer their questions. And so it encourages students to come on time, not be too late, because they don't want to miss me answering their question. Because if they miss it, I don't repeat the answer. They have to ask it again if they missed it. So I don't, yeah, so there's a little bit of a thing there. So when we're ready, we set the speed here. And then we want to move towards that target. So we want to set our velocity to be, and I'm going to just cheat a little bit and look at my player movement, see how I did it here. Oh, we had the input here. Let me look at my projectile is how we did it. This is the direction. All right, so we do this type of thing. All right, so let's go into our player, this chase behavior. We get the direction. So our target, it's not our target, our self, this is our on ready var move target. No, 2D like this. And it's going to be move target. Let's make this a unique name. Like that, bring it in. So we have our move target. And so rather than being target, this is our move target. So this is our direction of travel. And we normalize it. Normalize. And then our velocity. So this would be our character body dot velocity is equal to this times speed times arena manager dot speed. And then we do character body dot move and slide. Okay. I think we got a character body here. Redstone, I think doing something more like Verdur here, global direction, to target, normalized speed. I think this calculates it. So you're suggesting a method. What is the hat? We got a couple different hats. Which one? Shin, which hat? Which hat? Which hat are you referring to? We got a couple on here. You have a specific hat you're asking about? What is the hat? We got a couple different hats. Holy mother of hat. Holy hat man. This shouldn't be self. This should be our character body here. Variable. I pronounce it variable. There we go. All right. So now this guy will chase us. Wherever we go, he's coming. He's coming. Okay. Beautiful. So we add in the chase behavior. There's a little bit more to this, but we have a little bit of a chase behavior. It needs to have an attack behavior, so when it gets close, it attempts an attack. So some of the animations need to be added in here now as well to make it feel a little bit better. But let's go ahead and get a commit in here. Get commit -m feet. Add chase movement to Neanderthal. Okay. Yeah, Kieran looks bougie. It's a little bit bougie, lol. That's right. Got ourselves a bougie IKEA hat. Does the move and slide method accept parameters? It does, maybe? I don't think so. This is essentially at the end of your physics update. You say, okay, go ahead and apply this. Moves the body based on velocity. The body collides with another, it will slide along the other body, by default only a floor, rather than stopping immediately. If the other body is a character body 2D, it will also be affected by the motion. So essentially this is, after you set a velocity, say, okay, at the end of your physics update, say, do the move, go ahead and do it. It returns true if the body collided, otherwise it returns false. So it allows you to detect movement here. This is specifically for the character body class in Godot 4, which allows us to do stuff here. Also, Cap, to smoothen out the rotation on the enemy, you could add a marker 2D and make the marker 2D look at the target and loop the body. Yeah, I specifically am not doing a lerp. I could. I'm specifically not doing a lerp because I guess we could add one there. Yeah, I'm not doing a lerp. We're gonna add an animation to it though. There will be an animation. It's a little bit of a zombie type following there, going there. All right. We could add alert to it though. It feels like, so like if we spawn in another spot or we're a little bit faster, it might look a little jerky. It jumped to that rotation. I think it would be fine to add an alert though. Nothing wrong with that. I want to, yeah, it looks, I think I'm pretty happy with what we got going on here so far. As far as our clone goes, I'm thinking there's more behaviors we need to add. There's a couple different ones. We need to add in sort of a health and hit and these different behaviors to control. We need an animator, so we need to have it move. We need to have it stop and do an attack. In Godot 3, move and slide did take parameters for the velocity and other behaviors. Now you said it all before. James, good to know. I did not know that. Also, Shin, welcome into the stream. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Do we circumvent the issue if we align the sprite to face the player when it spawns? It does. It essentially is going to spawn slightly off screen, so you'll never see it not facing the player. So it actually is going to spawn out of the screen. In our arena here, there's actually going to be, and you can play a version of this game, the version of the game that we're porting over here. You can see it here. Cap, you should do a code review. That'd be fun unless you already do it. Well, I don't, a code review of like a specific project or have a thing where we do code reviews. I think code reviews are hard because you typically want to be semi-familiar with the project. So out of context code, it depends on how big the code is, the project is. Code reviews are difficult if you don't have context. So this is the game that we're porting over to Godot. So you'll notice that the enemies do spawn off screen, so you never see them not facing the player, at least this particular type of enemy. Is this the end part we were trying to accomplish? We're going through the steps now. Yeah, so I made this for a game jam. I made this game in Unity for a game jam. So we're in the process of what does it look like to do a game like this in Godot? So we're trying to make a similar game. Yeah, we made this last weekend in Unity for the Fox Hollow Game Jam. So we're in the process of porting it over. Yeah, so that's sort of what we have here, or what I'm going for. So we shouldn't actually ever see the enemy. One of the things, I'm trying to decide what I want to do next. I think we do need to take a quick break here. I think we need to take a quick break. I'm trying to decide, do I want to do animations next? Part of me feels like we need to do, or enemy deaths next. Yeah, we need a little bit more bean water, that's right. So we're almost out. I haven't been hydrating enough at all. Yeah, I can't write? Crazy, G. We're already at 90 minutes. I had issues with the timer, so I ended up turning it off. It's pretty easy for me to just monitor it separately. But yeah, I used to have the little warning that would come through saying approaching 90 minutes. It's useful to not have it for a variety of reasons. And then it also is a little bit glitchy and buggy. So I ended up taking it out. But yeah, we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna take 2-3 minutes, get ourselves some more bean water, get ourselves hydrated. When we come back, we're gonna keep working on this project. Yeah, it was fun to have in there, but had some issues with it, essentially. I would forget to reset it. It would do weird things sometimes if I forgot to turn it off. Gonna go eat some, get some bean water. I thought you said you're gonna eat some bean water, which sounded hilarious. We gotta get some thick enough beans, thick enough water to eat it. All right, we'll be back, folks. Don't go anywhere. Captain Coder shall return. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for waiting. We got our hat stack reset. We got ourselves a nice fresh cup of bean water. That's good. We got ourselves some more fresh water, hydrating ourselves up. Taking care of ourselves, loving ourselves where we deserve to be loved. We are going to hop back into our project here. Okay. So, before the break, we had just finished adding in this follow behavior. So the enemy will follow us like so. Road Ion Cap, seems like I'm just in time. I have a question. Did you work with 3D? I've done a little bit in 3D. So for Learn You a Game Jam, we made this game called Dark Fuel. So this game was my first attempts at making 3D. So my goal was to learn some Blender here. And so all of the 3D models in this game, I made. So I've done a little bit in 3D here. So we have this game, Dark Fuel. And so this character here is 3D. We made this 3D character here. Let me change the settings. I prefer this style of movement, but I'm a weirdo. So this is the character we made for this game. We made the buttons, we made the doors, we made the rooms. The rooms we used Pro Builder, so I don't know if it counts so much as 3D modeling. We made these beans as well to collect them here. So it's this game where you're moving around collecting beans. So this is the 3D work I've done, kind of the extent of the 3D work I've done as far as 3D modeling. I've made a couple other 3D games, but for the most part had avoided it prior to this. And I had a lot of fun making this game here. So in this game, you can't actually get up here yet. But this was the little game we made. Do you have a model interior in Blender and port it into the game? As a model, can you build them in the game engine? So I was working in making the model in Blender. Yeah, so I made these models, I made these in Blender. In Unity, there's a tool called Pro Builder that is part of the engine. So you can add it to the engine, but it's part of their tool set that lets you do basic 3D modeling. So I made all of the model here. So we made this coffee kettle, coffee pot to fill the mug up here with different abilities. So the different coffees give us different abilities is the idea here. So now we can move faster so we can actually finish this level because we can move fast enough to jump up here. Whereas without that ability, we weren't fast enough to make it. So that's the 3D stuff we did. For this one, I used Blender to make the 3D models. I used Blender to do the animations as well. So all of the animations, I made those in Blender as well. So like the running animation, the jumping animation, and the landing animation were all made in Blender. Even the door opening and closing, the button being pushed down, those were made in Blender. The rotation is not an animation in Blender, that's an animation in Unity. That's a Unity animation that we did there. But yeah, this was a fun little game we put together to learn about using Blender. And I want to do more 3D stuff in the future because I was so intimidated, it's so scary to work on it. And it was a lot of work, it's frustrating, but I learned a lot and I'm not as afraid of it anymore. And I definitely need to keep practicing those 3D skills so they don't go anywhere. Because I only spent maybe 30 hours using Blender. And so if you don't practice and maintain your skills, especially when you've only put such a low amount of time into it, I know 30 hours might feel like a lot, the low amount of time into it, it's likely that you'll forget it by the next time you go to do it. So that's the whole game there. You just watched me play through the whole thing that we managed to do. This was a 2-week game, mostly making 3D models. Man, you few of your friends test this one, Kovalaki. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. It was a really fun little game to put together. So Rod Ion, I hope that answered your question. That's sort of the extent of my 3D stuff. Outside of things like Cosmic Encounter has a little bit of 3D as well, but this is really a 2D game. To make materials in Blender and then import, yeah, I made them in Blender and then imported them into Unity. So I've done this type of 3D thing too. So this game is technically 3D, but it's just sort of like a perspective first person game here. So this game is 3D, but not really about being 3D. This game's not about being 3D. It's just like the movement, the world, and the environment is 3D here. So I've made a couple games like this. So this game here is 3D here, but the actual gameplay, when you get into it, yeah, I'm doing really well, Skydriver. I hope you're doing well. So the gameplay itself, the actual game itself, ends up being this 2D combat system. Move. Sorry, cancel. Let's go and do an attack. Attack. There we go. Attack the skeleton. There we go. End our turn. So I made this game. So the world is 3D, the environment's 3D, but the gameplay itself is mostly two-dimensional. So there's no like 2D physics, or sorry, 3D physics or anything in this one. So I did this one as a 3D one. What other 3D ones? Harmony is another 3D one. A 3D project, and I have to make an apartment for it. I wonder if I should model the whole apartment in Blender or make it in engine. It's a good question. LOL, I made the combat 2D because that was sort of the challenge I want to do. I wanted to make a combat system similar to a board game I played. I didn't do it so I could do abstract the combat animations. I actually ended up adding the animations in sort of towards the end there. Oh, JD, no worries. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Sorry, I forgot you there. No worries. JD, honestly, I didn't mind. I just want to, yeah, let's do a round of Q-list. I'd love to do it. We're in a good spot to do it. I just don't want my, I don't want, yeah. I honestly, it doesn't bother me. I just have this fear that if I allow one person to do it, a lot of people will start. I don't want there to be spam. I don't want there to be spam is essentially what I want. Thank you so much for the Q-list redeem. Let's do it. But yeah, Harmony is another one. We'll do a Q-list in a second. Harmony is another 3D one. Again, this one has a little bit more 3D. So there's like 3D enemies and stuff in this one. A little bit more stuff in this one. So Harmony is another one where it's sort of this first person perspective. This one's a little bit more intense. Oh, we got to harmonize. We're harmonizing. And so I didn't make these 3D models, but this is another one where we have, oh, this is Insta Step. So I forgot. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. This one has instant stepping. So it's hard to see the perspective when you're watching on stream. But this one is actually 3D here. Hang on, let's make sure. Rotation. All these things here. This is another 3D one I've done. Another game that's in 3D that using those particle effects. Red Cabin Games, holy moly, thank you so much for the raid. But then we have like sort of these things coming up and down. This is an early 3D game that I did. 3D, it's like actually 3D. I tend to not post those unless there's something I've purchased. That's how I feel about it as well, JD. Red Cabin Games. Thank you, sir. Jonas, how are you today? Red Cabin Games, how's it going? Let's give Red Cabin Games a shout out. I'm doing absolutely wonderful. Red Cabin, you got a link to your, I really need to set this up. I don't know, do I not have this? I don't think I have a command for you. Send us a link to your Steam page if you have it. What were you working on your stream? Tell us all about it. Red Cabin Games, I haven't had a showcase. We got to get you in here next month. Our next showcase is going to be next month. Got to get you in here. I want to show off your game a little bit. Yeah, JD, we don't have one, unfortunately. I got to get that fixed. Thank you so much for the link for Space Scavenger 2. Go check it out. We need the enhance. I think I fixed the enhance button, yeah. Go check out Space Scavenger. Getting ready for a demo. Let's go, folks. Go check out Space Scavenger 2. This game looks absolutely incredible. Speaking of games that have full 3, let's enhance. Look at this. Look at this. Yeah, please do. The first one's a ton of fun. Yeah, look at this gorgeous game. Solo, Red Cabin, 100% solo, is that true? You've done everything in this game as a solo dev, or there's something in here? Wrought Iron, you're welcome. Which one works better for your workflow? I would, what engine are you in? In my opinion, if you're using Unity, enjoy your day, Wrought Iron. Thank you so much for hanging out. Yeah, everything except the music. Yeah, this game is gorgeous. I can't wait to check it out. Thank you so much for the raid again. Thank you for popping in. If you got a raid and run, no worries. Have yourself a beautiful day. Yeah, doesn't this look gorgeous? This game looks incredible. In game on screen, yeah. I'm going to work in Godot, another Lost Soul Skydriver. Let's get a round of Q-List in here. Thank you so much for the Q-List redeem. We're going to play some Q-List real quick. So, folks, get your word game, get your words ready. So we're about to play a round of Q-List here. Let's switch to our document cam here. We're going to play a round of Q-List. We're going to play a round of Q-List here. Let's get this set up here. Let me move my Hulk Hogan collection off to the side here. Have a beautiful day right on sync. Thank you so much for pumping. It's always a pleasure to see you, my friend. Okay. All right, so anyone who's not familiar with Q-List, Q-List is a little word solitaire puzzle game we like to play here on stream. Skydriver, thank you so much for the Q-List redeem. I appreciate it. One of my favorite things to do. We take these dice, we roll them. Now, our goal is to essentially Scrabble these words together. Scrabble them. So we need to put all these letters together in a contiguous grid, one two-dimensional grid here that combines all the letters together. The one rule that we have to be careful, they have to be real words, and they have to be at least 3 letters long. So the word me is not a valid Q-List word because it's too short. So they have to be at least 3 letters long. So me is not a valid word. The second Q-List is back in stock. Let's go. Prime, that's a good one. Prime would be a valid word here. Prime. There's no D. Fire. Fire. We could do fire as well. Can't do prime and fire. Prime's a good one, though. I like prime. Let's go with prime here. It can be a little bit tricky. We might have to switch to fire. Vim. I don't think Vim is a valid Q-List word. Only in the U.S. though. Gotcha. I'm gonna have to reorder those because I like to have those in stock because I give them out to friends. Fit's a good one. Vim, is Vim a real word? What is the JD? What's the definition of vigor? Is a word? I believe vigor is a word. We're missing a G though. I don't vigor. I can't spell here. Fin, cab, lint. Lint. Ooh, lint. We could swap lint out here. I like lint for being a little bit longer there. Cent. Ooh. C-E-N-T. Live. File. Bill. Lib. Flint. Flint. Ooh, flint. Even better. Clint. Vim and vigor. I've never heard of Vim as used in a sentence. Use it in a sentence, JD. Use it in a sentence. Goodness, a few vowels. You only have 2 vowels here. So it makes it pretty difficult, right? Bev. Is Bev a word? I don't think it is. Yeah, can you use Vim in a sentence? I'm not saying it's not a word. You're full of vim and vigor when it comes to this game. I still don't know what it means. I still don't know what vim means. I don't know the definition of vim. All right. Though she's no longer young, she's still full of vim and vigor. Can you use it without the word vigor? Does it have to be with the word vigor all the time? Full of whim. BTC feels like we don't have enough vowels. Yeah, we have an E here. We could try swapping out some of these things here to check, like price. Prince. We could do prince. And then we might be able to do a little bit better here. Vice. Vice could be, so trying to get all these here. Some food and a little rest gave me back some of my vim. All right, I'm going to have to look up this up. Energy. Energy is the definition of vim. To get the V taken care of. Vice. Vice. Like that. Vict. Vice, here we go. I see you posting it, but I can't click on it because I'm playing a game right now. Print. Ooh, there we go. Print. Phlegm. We're close. We're close. We got to get this B used. Is B vice? It's like, don't be mean, be vice. Is B vice a word? If vim's a word, B vice must be a word. Phlegm. I think I'm missing some letters to make it an actual word. I'm pretty sure this is not how he actually spelled phlegm. I know, I know. I thought I was gonna try and get away with it. All right, so we'll have to use blem instead. Phlegm, phlegm is definitely a word. There we go. We did it, folks. Bicep. Ooh, we have a bicep in here. So that would require us to get rid of some of these. Bicep. We did that. Could do that. Now we have to reuse those. Anti-Jacob, welcome in. Yeah. You're giving me a hard time about Vim. Look, we can only use real words. Meant by itself, as I don't know. I don't think that's a real word. Rent. Ooh, rent's a good one. Rent. Vim. All right, so we can use Vim. Florent. Is Florent a word? Someone tell me. Someone double check that here. Phlegm, abbreviation for Flemish. Is it really? I see a word, but it's not family friendly. Yeah, we're gonna keep it family friendly. Thank you so much for film. Ooh, we could do film. This V needs to get used up though. Then we got vent. Oh, we're so close. Flint. We did do flint before. Flint. And then we're back over to this. I really liked, we were close with this. Film. Flim. Flam. Flim is another one we could potentially use. Film. Rent. Vent. Ricep. We're so close. Ice. Rice. Oh, man. Florentine French version of the Latin personal. Tricep. Price. We could put price over here. Price. It's too bad that's not a D. Climber. Uses up some good ones. Let's see if we can get climber to do something. Kendobo, welcome to the string. Climb. I like climber. That uses up a whole lot of letters. Fip. We're so close. Climber, fip, fent, tip. We're close. We got to get all these in here. I really like climber, fin, and pet. Fin, pet, but now we got a V. We got a fib. We got to do something with this V. We've been so close for a long time. Fent and vip. Is fent a word? Someone check. Fent, vip. Let's check it. We got to check the Scrabble dictionary. I think vip feels like it falls along the lines of Vim to me. Scrabble dictionary. We're checking it out real quick. We're gonna check. Can't do fib. Vip is vip. Vip is not a playable word. Vip is not a playable word, so we can't do vip. I don't know that fent is a word either, for what it's worth. Fent. Man. Piff. Fip. I wish fip was a word. That'd be super helpful. Such funny words. That's right. All right. We might have to flip. Scent. Timber. Limb. Is ent a word? Ent. I mean, it's a Tolkien word. We might check. Scent. Timber. Ent moot. Flip. This V is making this hard. Yeah, what do we used it for vent here? Too bad Simber isn't a word. Clip. Fimber. Timber. Yeah, we tried Timber, but now what are we going to do with this V? We got to do something with the V. Need job coder. Great to see you again. Welcome back to the stream. It's wonderful to have you here. Vine. Vine is tough. All right, we could try Vine. Like that. Vine. Vermin. Vermin. No diagonals. We can't do diagonals. Triple. Trip. Oh. Tripe. Triple. Triple. This V is tough. This V is really tough. Vin is not a word. Vim supposedly is a word, so we'll go with Vim. Vim is a word, according to some people in chat. Is Vink a word? I've never heard of it. Vince is a name. I don't think that one counts. Vent. All right, we got to find words that use the V here. Been doing an internship, finishing next month, paid not bad as per Indian standards. I'm glad you're getting through your internship. Vink is something. Vink is something. All right, we can go with that. I don't know that if it solves our problem here. Bemp. Is Bemp a word? I don't think we got this. I think we have to start with V and work from there. I think implement. Average goob, criminal. We don't have an A. Comes from where it has mean conquer, defeat. V is a troublesome letter. We need an extra vowel as another part. Hey, you guys do some game dev some other time. We're working on game dev here today. Yeah, no A's. We are working on game dev. We just happen to be playing this right now. We had a redeem here. Fem needs another M and an E. Burn. As in like a vernal calendar. Vern is a name. I don't know if it counts. Burn for sunshine. Let's see. Let's check the Scrabble dictionary here. Burn. My guess is burn is not a playable word. Yeah, burn is not a playable word. Oh man, this one's tough. We're struggling. We're struggling. Burn. The V that we got to get. Let's do fern. Okay, we got fern. What are we going to do with this V? Is Vipple a word with one P? Vipple. We got to work. Crimple. Crimple is not a word. Crimple. Crumple's a word. Crimple's a word? Crimple. Is it a valid Scrabble word? Crimple is a valid Scrabble word. Okay. All right. Again, I've never seen the word crimple. What does crimple mean? To crumple, wrinkle, or curl. That's fascinating. Crimple's a word, apparently. And we can do vent. Let's go. D1CI with crimple for the win. Let's do it. D1CI. That was rough. Points at D1CI. D1CI, you really helped us out there. 500 points, you. Points. I've never heard the word crimple before, but I'm definitely going to use it in sentence now. 1,000 points to all you beautiful people. This one was tough. Oh, I got to do points at all. 1,000 points. You beautiful people out there. Let's add this to the Q-List Hall of Fame. Let's get this added to the Q-List Hall of Fame. I've never heard crimple, yeah. This thing really crippled my brain, yeah. Really had to try hard to get through this one. Let's get the focus here. Come on. You can do it. Gonna add this to the Q-List Hall of Fame. Skydriver, thank you so much for the Q-List redeem. Let's go ahead and get this added in here. Turn that dock cam off. Move my monitor back over. All right. All right, so folks, if you want to see all of our previous Q-List endeavors, feel free to join the Discord to check it out. We have it over here, the Q-List Hall of Fame. Every time we get one, if you have your own Q-List game, feel free to give it in there. All right, And folks, JD, thank you so much for your help. Don't forget to check out JD Does Dev, folks. JD Does Godot.
If you want to feel like you're talking with Captain, let me see if I could do my Captain impression. I am not the Captain, but my eyebrows also move in a way like the Captain.
Thank you, JD, for the impression. Be sure to go give JD some love, folks. Check him out. JD, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you for the Vim. Skydriver. So now it worked. There we go. Yeah. Just had to get the order right. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky to get in there. But yeah, folks, be sure to join the Discord. We have a lot of fun over there playing Q-less, playing some fun stuff. Thank you so much for that. Super fun. Congratulate. You can't give yourself 1 point. That's hilarious. But yeah, we were talking about some of the 3D games I made. Not too many of them. I've been scared of 3D for a long time. But yeah, thank you guys so much for your contributions there. I enjoyed that greatly. We are working on porting our twin stick shooter over to Godot. So we have our enemy sort of following us now. All right, so what do people want to see? Do we want to see, what are we going to do next? We're going to vote on it. What's next? We can either, got some different options. Option number 1. Let's do option number 1. Hang on, I gotta get my writing implement. What are we gonna do next? Option number 1 is, I can draw on my screen. 1. Option 1. Hang on, I can do this. 1. Animations. 2. Enemy death. Enemy death on hit. 3, suggest something. Any other suggestions? There are 2 thoughts here. Let's do collision and shooting of the enemy since the mechanics to support them are in place. Yeah, so one of the reasons my writing's terrible here, because I'm like leaned over, my little writing pad's kind of far away, and it keeps getting snapped to the left of the screen somehow. One of the reasons we might want to do an animation is the death animation as part of it. I wish death to the enemies. All right, so we can do death. Wish my writing was better. 2 enemies. So 2's in the chat. If we want to implement enemy death. Number 1, if you want to implement animations, go for it. 1, answer now. 1's in the chat for animations. 2's in the chat for enemy death. What do we want to see? Shooting would be under animation. So we have the fire animation. Basically, we'd be doing the collision check for death on enemies. So just like removing the enemy when they get hit. Ooh, we could also add in enemy spawning. But spawning enemies feels a little bit trickier. Enemy spawn. Spawning. This is another thing we could do, like spawning multiple enemies in the scene. So we set up the different places where the enemies can spawn. We can spawn them. We have enemies now, so they can sort of move around, coalesce a little bit. It looks like 2. We got 1 vote for 2, 0 votes for 1 and 3. Rework your game into an Asteroids clone in Tensicode. Or option number 8. Option number 8. All right. Can add in option number 8 way down here. 8. Make Asteroids clone. Those are our options. Captain Notes says number 3, enemy spawning. You think that's the next logical step? See, I'm not sure that's the next logical step, but it'd be an easy one, relatively easy to add in, I think. So it requires to add in like a new behavior. All right, so we have 2 votes for number 2, 1 vote for 8, 1 vote for 3. All right, 2 it is. 2 it is. We're gonna add in the little death to our enemy here. So in our Neanderthal enemy, I want to add in a new behavior that can detect when we get hit by something. Okay, so I'm going to add a behavior to our enemy here. And the behavior essentially is going to be like a health behavior. So it's going to have enough amount of health. When it takes damage, when a projectile hits it, we apply the health down. If the health goes to 0, we remove it from the scene. So it's like an enemy health behavior. Enemy health behavior. I think I just want to do a health maybe enemy health behavior. So this allows us to provide health to different enemies when we get hit. For now, it's just going to set it to 0 and we die. And so then we'll remove it from the screen. So let's go ahead and add a script for this. So this is under our enemies. We're going to create a new script, enemy health behavior, like that. We'll attach it in there, and then we can start modifying it. So an enemy health behavior, we'll go with a class name, enemy health behavior, and then we'll do an export var health float, and we'll set it to 1. This guy will have 1 health. Our projectiles will have to deal a specific amount of damage, is something that we'll do as well. And what we want to do is basically have a little thing where we can take damage. All right, so I'm gonna write a function, take damage, and it's gonna have a float, damage float like this. And we'll have it, maybe we can have it do a bool return whether or not it died. I'm gonna do a void. I don't think I actually need that information yet. We'll just do health minus equals damage. And then we have a little thing. We're gonna track some information here. Func death, really, it's a couple different things that we could do. Take damage. I want to start over-engineering. I know I'm gonna want a thing to where I can observe the damage and have like an animator do it. So I want to create function death or kill death. Maybe we'll call it death like this. And right now all this can do is queue free. So we'll say if health less than or equal to 0. Oh, no parentheses in GD script. Parentheses are bad in GD script. Death. That's not true. We could add those in there if we really wanted them. But death here. Well, that's interesting. The undo void like this. So take damage, death here. We're going to go and get it. Now we want to make a thing that says when a projectile hits an enemy, sorry, Neanderthal needs to have an area 2D. This is interesting. I'm wondering, do area 2Ds... Yeah, this is interesting because our projectile is actually going to be colliding with different things. And so we have a projectile, and our projectile has this collision shape on it. Yeah, projectile has its own behavior, right? Basically, this needs to tell whatever it's hitting that it hit it so that it can process it. So right now we have this area 2D, and we want to make it so that way when we collide with something, if it happens to be something that has a take damage on it, an enemy health behavior, or an enemy collider, I'm not entirely sure what I want to do, but I'm thinking we're going to go ahead and make it so that way when we hit this thing, it forwards that off to our enemy health behavior. So I'm trying not to get too abstract too quickly because I want to manage the complexity of it. Our projectile, so here's what we want to do. Our projectile has an area 2D that triggers when something enters it. So in our projectile script here, layers for fast prototyping, I want to take this signal. So we have a signal here on my area 2D. And I want to say when a body enters this, body entered. I'm wondering if area shape 2D says emitted when a shape 2D of the received body enters a shape. Body can be a physics body 2D or a tile map. Okay. So this one here is a physics body 2D. Our area 2D is not a physics body 2D. Area shape entered. Yeah, this is when a shape 2D is received. I think this is what I want because we're going to have a hit collider on our enemy of the areas that can be hit, but it's not necessarily the collider box. There's that sprite and the Neanderthal. Not the sprite, but your hitbox. So there are certain things. So for example, on my enemy, we could have different hit spots potentially. So let's go over to my, so for example, this is sort of like my player's hitbox. You can't, you have to be close enough to actually hit it. The Neanderthal, I'm gonna make it this shape here is the collider. Hitting the hands and the club, it's not the whole sprite. And in fact, there's multiple sprites here. I wanna make it, and I've never done this before, I wanna make it so that the hitbox is sort of the shoulder shapes here. So I think that's what I'm gonna go for. Congratulations on defeating Mog the Blood Lord. Sounds like a Klingon name. So it's not necessarily the sprite that we're hitting. All right, so I want to test something out because I've never done this signal. Area shape entered. Area entered. Meaning when the received area enters this area, emitted when a shape 2D of the received area enters a shape of this area, requires monitoring to be set to true. Because I'm not actually colliding with a physics body, I'm colliding with something else. So I'm curious which one of these I should use. Requires monitoring to be set to. So I want monitoring. All right, monitoring is set to true. Okay. I think it's area shape entered. Mesh rune gifting boss gave me the entire 9 levels at once. Look at you go. Look at you go. All right, so let's go back into our script here. And I want to attach this signal just to see what information I can get. Essentially, I want to forward this information off. So in our projectile here, I want to area shape. This may not be the signal that I want. Let's go look at our other potential signals. I feel like this is the signal that I actually want. All right, let's disconnect this other one. I feel like my intuition is telling me this is the signal I want, is the area entered. So let's disconnect this. All of these parameters here tell me that. Yeah, so my idea is we just want to have a hitbox, right? So I'm gonna have an enemy hitbox. Our area here, my hope is, so finally the boss is using Godot. I'm having a lot of fun with Godot. I did a game with it early last month too. And so I'm porting over this to Godot just to test it out, see what I like. Luge, good question. When I've used C# in Godot, it has kind of just made me angry. I feel like the C# isn't mature enough in Godot yet. You end up doing all kinds of casting and untyped stuff in Godot C#, which drove me a little bit crazy. So I also want to understand GDScript. Most people in Godot use GDScript. I want to speak more informed on it. And web builds, for this project, the web build isn't as important to me, but if Godot's so easy, GDScript if Godot's so easy. That said, my experience with the C# in Godot hasn't been completely horrible. It's just, it feels not like I'm running it. What is taking damage, the player or the Neanderthal is going to be taking damage. And in fact, we want to basically say, we're going to have a thing that lets us receive a projectile. But mostly I want to print out here what the area is. And I'm 90% sure right now, there are no areas to enter. Our Neanderthal doesn't, I need to make it so our mouse can do it. Yeah, we can't actually shoot the Neanderthal yet. Let's make its speed really slow as well. Probably have to do a little bit of a debug on it. Or let's make my player faster. Let's go to my player here. Let's make my player faster. Set our speed to 10, just so we can get away easily. You're climbing my chicken, that's right. That's right. So on my Neanderthal, we're going to create a hitbox. So it's going to be an area 2D that is our hitbox. And that is going to receive information on the Neanderthal side, which the trigger take damage and possibly death. Oh, so take enemy health behavior just lets us take the damage. We're going to add in a area 2D here that when it receives a body, right, it's going to check to see if it's a projectile. I think you're right. On area enter 2D. I think this is in the wrong spot. We're going to have a hitbox here. So let me go into 2D mode. I want to add in, I'm going to put it inside body so it rotates. This is going to be an area 2D. This is going to be our hit box. So this is where we can hit it. And you can potentially have different hit boxes that apply different multipliers. This is like an idea. If you had a bigger enemy with like sweet spots where it takes more damage if you hit the sweet spot, you could have a different hit box in that way. Let's add in a child node. That's going to be a polygon, collision polygon 2D. And then let's turn on grid. Is this smart snap? Yeah. And I want to adjust. How do I just edit this thing? Collision polygon. Is this not the right thing to do? Empty dollar has no effect on the collision. Just click to add points. Okay, I hadn't actually drawn it in yet. Okay. Click to add point. This is also not what I want. Hang on. I keep clicking in the wrong spot. Stop. All right, there we go. All right, so it's the body that we're aiming for. Good enough. All right, so that's our collision shape there. Yeah, I just kept clicking in a very, very wrong spot. Chocolate is there, but do you like how lightweight and easy to set up Godot was? Yeah, it's the thing I like most about Godot is how lightweight it is, how quickly it is to get things going. There are things I don't like about it, but I do like that. I won't stand for this Neanderthal disrespect. Yeah. Welcome back, Push Toy Tika. Great to see you. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Okay, so we have this little hitbox here. And so this is where we're going to monitor to. You don't have to install the thing. I don't have to install what thing? Oh, Godot, there's no installation. So I kind of feel like that is... There's no installation, which actually makes updating challenging. So there is some part of that I dislike. I wish there was a Godot hub, similar to Unity Hub. So because there is no install, there are things about that. They added an auto update checker. Does it replace like your installation in 4.3? Cool. So let me ask you, does the audio update perform the update, or does it tell you that there's an update? So there's like, as a person who has done installation before, like installation processes, doing an update when you don't have like an install, like registry type thing, can be a little bit tricky to do. It's still super for now. It just takes you to the page. Yeah, so it's same with Inkscape. I kind of dislike that Inkscape, you don't get an update. You have to download a whole new program to do it. So that said, doing updates in Godot is a little bit tricky because for a variety of reasons. And the switching between versions is the main thing that I feel like is a little bit challenging. So this hitbox here, I want to add a script to our hitbox that is aware of like an enemy health behavior and will forward the message. Let's not overdo it. Let's come over here. Like in my mind, I feel like I don't want to have it this way, but we're gonna do this. Let's go to our enemy health behavior, go to our hitbox, we're gonna go to signals, area entered. Here. We're going to add this to our enemy health behavior. And I just want to print the area, make sure we're getting this coming in here. Part of me wants to have this hitbox have a script that's like an enemy hitbox, and that thing knows how to like apply, like check for the projectile and forward it, but we can just do it right here as well. So right here, this should be an area 2D, and we're going to want to check to say, is the thing that's hitting us, is this actually a... This was kind of... Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Is this thing a projectile? Hang on. Let's go ahead and... if I can hit him. There it is. So we're getting area 2D and hitbox. It's interesting that it's putting both of these things out. Did I take this out of my projectile? I didn't. All right, so let's get rid of this one. Let's disconnect on our projectile. Disconnect that. Let's try again. I want to see. It should be getting our area 2D. So we're coming in here. It's getting us our area 2D. So this is like our projectile hitbox. And this is where we need to actually, rather than the area 2D, we need to go check to see, hey, is this thing actually a projectile here? I have all versions on a folder on the path and add a .bat file in my project to launch it when the right editor version. See, but did you manually do all of those things? Kavlaki, always overdue. Exactly. Gotta always do it. Owen, great to see you. Wonderful to have you here. Now a Godooter, Wolfric, we do our best. We're getting around, we're checking these things out. I want to learn more about Godot so I can be more informed. I'm currently during my summer, so I'm not doing C# stuff. Also, my C# curriculum feels pretty solid these days. One thing is I work at an online school, so the major downside for me with Godot is that GDScript is not a general purpose programming language. So it's very difficult for me to justify using GDScript in my classes. It's hard for me to justify that. The best prototyping engine? Well, that's an opinion. I do think it's very quick to get up and going. I might argue that GameMaker is a little bit... I think an argument could be made that GameMaker is a really good prototyping engine. Is GDScript extensible? Define extensible. Can we extend the language? We can write, it's a Turing complete language, which is kind of a low bar. GameMaker is a great prototyping. Yeah, I might argue that GameMaker is really, really good. Like fourth? No, I don't think so. It's too neat, not general enough for use for teaching. For the type of teaching I do, I don't teach game. I use game dev and stuff as a facilitator. GDScript is a lot like Python. I want my students to be able to write code outside of the engine. That's the biggest thing. You need to be able to write code separate from your project so you can learn more of the basics of programming. I teach the programming mindset. That's the goal I do, teaching the programming mindset. I want to be able to write stuff outside of the game engine separately so we can talk about the logic of it without having to load up this program, hitting run, and doing all of these things. So GDScript only runs inside of Godot. So there's some issues with it for me from a teaching perspective. Yeah, so I couldn't have my students use it for any project. It'd have to be a Godot project. What was I doing? Oh yeah, we're getting this area 2D. We need to be able to check. This is, all right, so now I am filling what Captain Fubar was suggesting. We put the area 2D as the base type on this projectile, which I'm kind of seeing now. Because getting a reference to it down here on this area 2D is a little bit harder. It's very tightly coupled with the engine, which is fine. It's great for it. Matt Coder, thank you so much for the follow. Have you met Matt Coder? Thank you so much for following me today, Matt Coder. Thank you so much. So I think the challenge here, Zaft. Let me close this. Let me close some of these. I think the challenge is that in my enemy health, we have this area 2D here, and what I really want to reference is the projectile up here. And so this is going to require me to do, I think, something where I say, okay, well, I need to either add in an area 2D or go get its owner and check if the owner's projectile. So I have to do some special stuff here. Percent will work there. Give us all proofs. I missed something there, Kovalaki. What we did a lot was to code math solvers to our TI-89 with C++, and in the end, we didn't need them because making the code work forced us to learn it. Redston, I think there are a lot of really nice things about the built-in Godot editor. So like being able to connect signals and drag and drop between the inspector and scene view and editor is really nice. They've made a lot of really nice things. Area.owner also works. I guess we could do that. And then it requires, all right, on hitbox enter, we'll do area.owner. Can we do an is instance? Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. Is instance. So I want to check that it is a projectile. Is projectile. Is this a thing? If it looks like we can. Area.owner projectile. This would be our var projectile as projectile. Do I have to do this would be a question. And then really what I want to do is call my projectile like needs some damage on it. Does my projectile currently have a damage? It does not. Let's go do an export var damage. Something, yeah, float equals 1. We want to be able to adjust different projectiles. If proj is slightly shorter. And then we have to, so you're suggesting I do this. And we check if projectile. So this will tell us if it is null. So if it's not null here, then we can call take damage projectile dot damage. Zap, you're suggesting this? I don't know if shorter is necessarily better. For what it's worth, I hate doing this. I hate being able to use non-Boolean types as Booleans. I find it very unintuitive. I find it hugely confuses a lot of people. It means different things with different types. In a lot of ways, it's something it drives me nuts here. In a lot of things. If not project return, I love that. If not project return, not projectile return. Falsely is objectively better. I know there's Python's that way too. JavaScript likes to do it. It drives me a little bit nuts here. Grobira. Welcome to the stream. Let me know if I pronounce it wrong. Is it Grobira? Grobira. Welcome to the stream. I can't pronounce it. Grobira. Grobira. I said your name 3 different ways, you know. Thank you for following me today. I think it makes sense with ints and pointers. Maybe. Yeah, I like the Boolean types to be Boolean types. Did I mention my RetroPro got added to MAME? Let's go. That's awesome. Congratulations on that, Owen. Right, so that's the bonus we get here is checking for free to objects. Is this thing null, undefined? So there's like multiple different falsy things here. There's some expectation that people have to understand what does not projectile mean. Yeah. I like the positive if here in this case. If we had multiple different things to check, I think it would be important. All right, let's see if we can take this guy out. We can't. All right. Surprisingly, this is a little bit surprising to me. Print area. Print projectile. I'm a little surprised, if I'm being honest. It is a projectile. Is damage... All right, so how much... Health minus equals damage. Print projectile dot damage. How much damage are we doing? All right, now I'm confused. Starting health should be 1. It's doing 1. Oh, you know what? It's freeing. It needs to do owner.free. This is what's going on. It's not actually freeing, it's freeing the enemy health behavior was getting destroyed, but not the enemy itself. There we go. There we go. Owner is a shortcut for go all the way up to the top root node of the scene. Welcome. Thanks, man. No, thank you for being here. I'm a software engineer trying to learn more game dev. I've been doing game dev for about 2 years now, a little less than 2 years. And I've been learning a lot. I as a software engineer as well. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I'm 90% sure owner says go all the way up to the root node of the scene. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. That's cooking, yeah. The name Grobira is basically my name. Giovanni Robira. It's Portuguese, but not that hard to spell. Owner is the scene root, but you can set it to something else. Gotcha. So by default. So this is our basic thing here. Let's go ahead and add in. So now if I give my enemy more health, let's give my enemy, let's go to the Neanderthal here. Let's give it a little bit more health to start out, just so we can see in our enemy health behavior. Yeah, so it definitely is doing it the root node here because I'm nested inside these behaviors. Let's give it 3 health here. So we're gonna have to hit it 3 times. Let's take out these debug print here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so it took us 3 shots. I'm bad at shooting. I do want to add in mouse controls for single player here. You mean I did not need that many reference to player inside of all of my components? Apparently not. Yeah, so I learned this yesterday. So it's a pretty cool little thing to learn there. Let's get its status. Right, tool scripts, you have to learn about owner since nodes not owned by the edited scene don't show up in the editor. Interesting. Git commit feature implement enemy implement simple enemy health behavior. We can go ahead and push that up there. We have 15 minutes left. 15 minutes left. Let's see. I don't know if I can get a full spawn going in 15 minutes. Yeah, 15 minutes before I gotta get out of here. Let me double check something real quick. We might be able to go a little bit longer. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. I'm gonna check to see if I have a little bit extra time this morning. Hang tight. I'll be right back. Our dopamine. Oh, I got that fix. Oh. Connie, thank you for the hats. Thank you for the dopamine. Get a hat. 1 hat. 2 hats. Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here, folks. Thank you so much for the hats, Tani. I appreciate them. Quick hat him while he's gone. Took my headphones off so I couldn't hear. We gotta wrap up here for the day. I work out in about 15 minutes, so I have a partner I'm working out with. So I'm gonna wrap it up here a little bit. We got our commit in, so pretty happy with the progress we made. I'm super excited to be at. One of the things I'm really looking forward to is adding in animations to this. So in Unity, I really like the animation tool that Unity provides, and I haven't done a whole lot with animators in Godot. So that is something I'm really looking forward to playing with, checking out. And so we will be back tomorrow to look at that. Let's set the enemy behavior back to 1 here before I forget. All right, so we can go ahead and destroy the enemy there. If we add in a couple enemies, we can test it out here by adding in several enemies into our scene. That they each work independently. I don't know why they wouldn't, but we can move these guys around to a variety of different spots, and we'll get in some, we'll create a spawner here relatively soon, but we got to wrap it up here. We're going to find someone to raid into. But yeah, we'll have some enemies here now. They come towards us. I'm moving super fast, but we got to add in the animation to destroy them, which will be nice. Congratulations on your 25 Freedom Forge. You got it. You done did it. You know, we're having fun with this. Lots to do, but we'll be back tomorrow. If you want to know when we're going to be back, we do have a schedule listed on the Discord. Join the Discord for great fun. I will probably be on the Discord later today. Freedom Forge, you're not the only one. I will be live on the Discord later today, hanging out, chatting, working on this project. So if you want to hop onto the Discord with us, get in those voice chats, I'm going to be working on that in a few hours. I'm going to go work out, eat some breakfast, drink some water, hydrate, and then we'll be back on probably in like 2-3 hours over there. So you're welcome to join us on the Discord. Let's find someone to raid out to. Let's see who we got. We got JD. We've done JD earlier this, or I think a few days ago. We did JD. We haven't done Magatron in a while. You're welcome, Jacob. White Panther does web dev. White Panther's an awesome streamer, by the way. Magatron's doing Unreal. JD's doing Godot and Blender, working on his bear. Kuvaman doing some stuff, making a language, so Camel could be really cool. Mars 9T, we're gonna raid Mars 9T. Mars 9T just released didn't release their game, but they have the Overseer on Steam, so we're gonna go raise Mars 9T when we get over there, folks. Let's raise Mars 9T. Let's give them some love. Happy Beergan, you made it! Congratulations. Ms. Ab, thank you so much for all your help. Let's give Mars 9T, and we're gonna say happy Monday. Tell us about the Overseer. I normally don't do raid messages, but go ahead and, if you would, copy pasta this. Happy Monday. Tell us about the Overseer. Let him know that we want to know about his game. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I will be back tomorrow. You too, Feargan. We'll be back tomorrow. We're ending a little bit early today. We're just wrapping things up. Remember to keep coding, keep growing, keep being the best you can be. You're welcome back anytime. Also, be sure to check out Mechanically Challenged, all that good stuff. Lots of awesome stuff going on. Yeehaw, have a great one. You too, Freedom Forces. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.